This is a narrative, okay? Cloud seeding is not just used for agriculture and ecosystems. Ecosystems can protect themselves through drought. They have for thousands of years. A lot of people in agriculture don't like the fact that they're dumping chemicals on their land. In reality, some of the largest cloud seeding programs in the United States, and I'm going to get into these because I think that we need to understand why cloud seeding is done, are done for industrial purposes. They're done for other reasons. And what you'll find is that the investment groups that are involved in these organizations are also the same investors that are investing in cloud seeding programs, that are investing in the news programs that are giving you the narrative that you're being fed. But the fact is that no, these programs are not used for agricultural and ecological purposes. They are in fact documented, public knowledge that they are in fact used for industrial purposes. And this is where the video just gets really weird though, is they're gonna start to, in order to defend cloud seeding, they're gonna start to talk about its ineffectiveness, and then they're gonna spin the whole thing onto climate change. The hyperbole of climate change is going to be used as a justification for the 7% increase in rainfall. One has to ask a serious question here. If climate change is causing more rainfall and cloud seeding is ineffective, why are so many billions of dollars being invested in it? I mean, seriously, if Epstein didn't have a client list and didn't blackmail anybody, why was he convicted? Why did the courts have that information? Why did the courts have lists of victims and lists of participants when they didn't exist? Not trying to pull Epstein in this, but how stupid are we? This is likely one of the most embarrassing pieces of journalism I have ever seen, and what triggered me to want to do this video today.
And NBC News climate reporter Chase Kane joins us now. Chase, any conspiracy always starts with like a thread of truth here. Can you explain the science? Like, what is cloud seeding, first off, and how is it being used in Texas?
Yeah, so cloud seeding is really this idea for farmers of like, hey, there's some moisture up there in the clouds. Is there a way that we can get it out of the clouds down here to the surface to help farmers? Because water vapor that's in the air needs something to grab onto, which is often like smaller than the tip of a pen. So you're thinking like pollens, particles of pollen or dust or even air pollution. So you see this graphic here. Basically what they do is they fly planes up there to give the water vapor something to grab onto. So it's a combination of silver iodide and salt, actually. And so the water vapor forms around that. Eventually it gets heavy enough and then falls to the surface of rain. So when that happens, we're talking really small amounts of rain. In fact, scientists have been debating for decades whether or not this is actually very effective to do. So even when it does work, Gotti, we're not talking about a lot of rain, certainly not the amount of rain that they saw in Texas last week.
And the timing of it, 2 days before, I mean, you know, again, anybody online that seems to be an expert these days would say, well, no, this is what, you know, started the flood or possibly like supercharged the soil so it was hydrophobic. Like, well, take us through the timeline here.
Yeah, that's a really important point, Gotti, because this cloud seeding, it works within like 15 minutes, half an hour, maybe an hour, and then that's it. So that was done 2 days before. So the CEO is saying this. Other scientific research establishes that cloud seeding isn't going to trigger something like this, certainly not 2 days after they were doing it. They were only up in the air cloud seeding for about 20 minutes because, again, it's targeted to a pretty small area of land, which was not even over where the worst of this flooding was, Gotti. So we're talking 30 minutes to an hour, certainly not 2 days in advance.